I've always really loved wolves. Learning that this certain subspecies, there was only like a small handful left before zoos and different facilities stepped in. To me, it was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe I could do something.
In order to be effective in saving wildlife, we need to understand the threats that are facing them. And in many cases, we don't. And so that's where our researchers and our scientists come into play. They truly walk the walk in terms of their advocacy for wildlife, their support of Brookfield Zoo, and engaging communities and people to come along with us on this journey.
150 years ago, Chicago was a wetland. And now throughout all of our urbanization, we've changed a lot of those wetlands into smaller and smaller spaces. And so that gives smaller and smaller areas for Blanding's turtles to live. Turtles are pretty tough, but when you get ongoing threats, one after another, that affect their habitats, it's hard for them to overcome it. Let's get these turtles to a population where they're breeding and reproducing and maintaining their population size without any assistance.
As our guests move throughout the park, they'll see examples of all different conservation programs and partnerships that we're committed to. When you move through our 7 Cs, you'll see our Sarasota Dolphin Research Program in Florida is aimed at conservation of bottlenose dolphin and other marine wildlife. When you move through our Living Coast, you'll see our Punta San Juan program in South America is dedicated to conserving Humboldt penguins, South American fur seals, and sea lions. Our Mexican gray wolves are a great example of a conservation program that's reintroducing Mexican wolves into the Southwest United States.
Humans are the main cause of the species being endangered. They were hunted to near extinction. Our specific individuals aren't released. Their pups participate in cross-fostering. We put pups back into the wild so we can make sure there's enough genetic diversity to keep the population from any type of inbreeding.
In addition to all of the programs that our guests see on display here at the zoo, there's also a huge amount of conservation work going on behind the scenes.
Who doesn't love a pangolin? They are truly unique species. Pangolins are being trafficked for their scales. The amount of poundage of pangolin scales per year is off the chart. It's millions of tons of pangolin scales. Pangolins are the most trafficked animal in the world. We've made huge strides reproducing a species that had never been reproduced before in a zoo setting, and there are some pretty exciting things that we'll be able to assist with from our zoo population of pangolins that will directly affect and hopefully improve the horrible trafficking situation in Africa.
Our hope is that every single person that Brookfield Zoo comes in contact with leaves with an inspired feeling that their choices make a difference. All of those little small actions, when all of us do them, can lead to a very big change. Your choices help to save pangolins. They help to save Mexican gray wolves. They help to conserve box turtles and Blanding's turtles here in our backyards in Chicago.
After we lose a species, we can't get it back. As these species are starting to decline because of things that people are doing, we feel an obligation, a responsibility in order to do something about it. Being able to be that person that takes that little baby turtle and then puts it into the water and wishes it good luck is something that you can't emulate.
I can't describe the feeling it was, finding out a year from now that those pups made it and you're like, oh my gosh, you did it. This year's the 25th anniversary, and it's the first year we hit over 200 individuals in the native range, and that's a big win.
The one thing about conservation is it doesn't make money, it takes money.
There's other things that we've left untapped because it's not been within our reach. Every blood test costs money. It costs time and resources of staff that need to be in the lab and in the field.
That money would go to maybe different diet items for animals or enclosure renovations.
Whether it be natural history research, conservation of land, you are essentially helping pangolins in the wild.
By supporting the zoo, you are being involved in local and global conservation efforts that are making a difference in the field. You're part of something bigger.
It's so important for the future of the planet, for the future of our species.
I believe in this zoo. I believe in what we're doing to save the world, and in this case, one Blanding's turtle at a time.
With your help, we can continue to support these incredible programs that help to save wildlife around the world.